How's it going today, guys? Today we're going to be talking about PCM, the panel for cable management. This is a collaborative product that we developed with our friends over at TNVC, the tactical night vision company, and it was designed to be a really effective way to manage your cables. It actually conceals however much of the wire you tuck inside of those channels. So unlike a lot of other cable management solutions that are either clips or have some sort of like MLOK mounting to it, this is actually going to offer you a lot more concealment and protection of those cables, and that's going to minimize your snag hazards even more than just having the body of the wire held tightly to the handguard. It actually covers it up, right? Cable management. Why is cable management important? Well, when we start talking about enablers, right? So this is my 416, and I got some enablers on here, right? I have a white light for low light use, and then I have a Raid XC, which is a night vision laser I would use in conjunction with a set of night vision goggles. And these have a control panel, a pressure pad here. This one happens to be a unified one that can operate both pieces of equipment, but it has wires, right? So it has one wire per device that go into the devices themselves, and there's cables involved, right? So there's cables involved on the light and the laser itself. And for the longest time, this was a solution people would go with, right? They would either Ranger band or zip tie the cables in place to prevent them from being a snag hazard, them just dangling freely. However, a better solution does exist. Now, like I said, we're not the only people that offer a cable management solution. This just happens to be our specific flavor of cable management. And the big difference is that this is going to be a attachment that kind of pulls double duty, right? So not only can you manage your cables with this, but you also are getting a panel that goes on your handguard, right? So you get a little bit of added traction. We do have our all angles or dimpled texture on here. This is designed to give traction no matter which direction you grip it. So however you mount this around the radius of your handguard, it's going to provide traction in an optimal orientation no matter where you put it. The other benefit of this is going to be that this is actually made out of metal. This is 6061 aluminum, and then it is type 3 anodized, and it's going to do an amazing job at heat dissipation as well. So it's metal, it's going to protect your cables from any type of nicks or cuts, and it also is going to help with some heat dissipation. We have some data about that on the website. If you want to go check it out, you can read a little bit more about the heat dissipation aspect of it. The last thing I'm going to touch on is we do have these available in different sizes. The one I have with me today is the L, and it's going to consume 2 MLOK slots. Our standard one is going to consume a single MLOK slot, and the XL is going to consume 3 MLOK slots. So get 3 different options there. It's all up to you however much cabling you want to consume. Most of the time, the standard or the L is going to fit most people's needs, but for whatever reason, you might want to conceal a cable for the entirety or most of the length of your rail, or you just like the other aspects of it you get with the traction, and you decide you want the XL. So let's actually get this installed on a rifle. I have my Hodge Defense 12.5 here, and make sure that's clear, and then I'll show you guys it being used. This one's going to be a little bit simpler of an installation because I am using a MAL on this rifle, and the MAL has integrated pressure pads, so won't be any pressure pads for the laser, but I do have a pressure pad for my white light, which is this Surefire Turbo using a Unity Tactical hot button. And the hot button, it's a legacy product. I don't think they make it anymore. Now it's been replaced by the Axon, but it does have a little bit of cable lead. This one looks like it's about 5 inches, maybe 5 to 7 inches, and we're going to actually manage that cable. And another thing I'm going to do is I think I'm actually going to move this weapon light. So for demonstrative purposes, I've actually exaggerated my white light placement a little bit, extended it further out, but this isn't uncommon. Guys try to get their weapon lights out as flush with the suppressor as possible. So what that did, gave me a little bit more cable length for me to demonstrate this with you guys. What I have found works best with PCM is actually going backwards. What do I mean by that? I mean taking the plug itself and seeing about where it lands after it gets plugged into the weapon light and it's not having any sort of tension or slack on it, and then seeing how much cable I kind of have to route. So working backwards I found works really well. And I just put it all in here. I eyeballed it and I got a pretty good idea of where it's all going to need to be placed. So for this setup, I don't have to take advantage of any of the right angle cuts in PCM. I'm gonna only use like one straight section of it, but there are some right angles and you could even do a full 180 with it if you wanted to as well. So get a ton of options with that slotting. But all that being said, get this installed here. It is also going to come with the MLOK hardware that you need in order to install PCM. So, and now that I actually look at it, I am gonna need to use a right angle. So just shorten it by 1, come out the bottom of that right angle. And in order to install this, you need a T25. And there you have it, guys. I have installed the PCM on this Hodge 12.5, and it's routing the cable for my Surefire Turbo. But there you have it, guys. That is our collaborative product that we made with TNVC, the PCM. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to drop a comment or email us, phone the shop. You'll talk to Roger or one of the guys. I might get to you in the comments, might be one of the other guys. But if you have any questions, we love to help customers out and find a solution that fits for you guys. But that's all I have. Have a good day.